Hi, it's Cynthia Venucci again from your Hospitality Negotiations and Sales Summer Class for 2017. I'm trying to provide you some instruction videos on how to do your homework assignments. This one happens to be the interview paper, and it's called the Hotel Catering and Tourism Salesperson Interview Paper, also worth 100 points. And I'd like to go through and explain to you how it works. Okay, so the biggest question that I get in the summer is who should I interview? Well, the goal, of course, this class is a two-track class. One track is about negotiating, and then one track is about sales. And of course, in the previous video that I shared with you, it was about the negotiation tactics. And the negotiation tactics, sorry guys, that was my daughter in the background. I'm filming on a Sunday evening here at home in Parker, Colorado. Back to the paper. Who do I interview? Well, I'm asking you to choose a salesperson in the hospitality industry. Now we have a chance to learn about salespeople. And this paper is designed to help you understand that sales people seem like they've got the data themselves, and yet they really have to be very focused and target their efforts in order to meet their sales quotas and goals. Most students choose a hotel salesperson or a catering salesperson. Although there are other options for you, it's important to choose someone within the hospitality industry, but don't be afraid, as I say, to think outside the box. You could talk to a travel agency or a travel agent, or even a representative from Expedia or Priceline.com who are responsible for packaging and selling to the consumer hotel, air, car rental, and even the events. So you also could consider maybe a salesperson from Visit Denver. They do a lot of the convention sales. Or you could contact your local destination management company. They do sales as well. You could consider, if you want, a bus operator or a tour operator, because they're selling their services. The buses are selling their services to a destination management company. The interview paper components, we're looking for a 3 to 4 page paper. We have 6 distinct questions in mind. And like I said, the whole idea of this assignment is to understand the complicated life of a salesperson. I can tell you that when I was a salesperson for hotels, people used to think all we did was eat breakfast with people, eat lunch with people, go out to dinner with people, and then go to a cocktail party. But all of those components of dining with clients or being with clients was to develop the relationship and sell to them without being what I call being a hard salesperson. We in the hospitality business are actually very soft salespeople. We are not looking to close on a life insurance contract or a car insurance or whatever. We're really trying to develop the relationship, because what we sell, after all, is an experience. Okay, so with this 3 to 4 page paper, there are 6 questions in mind, and of course I always have grading rubrics for all of them found in your syllabus. You're going to make an appointment with a salesperson, and you're in this appointment. You could do it by Skype, or you could do it by phone, or I prefer that you actually do it in their offices, primarily because there's a question here that talks about their professionalism, and that could be even what their office looks like. So the first question you're going to be asking is, how does a salesperson qualify prospects? We sell to people, right? And so, but which people should we be selling to? If I'm a big convention city like Denver, they have to figure out, who do they sell to? Well, the people at the Visit Denver, they sell to maybe association executives. They call them, they don't return the call, they send them material, they may look at the material. It's a constant little dance. So they want to know, how do they qualify who would best want to stay in Denver for a convention, or who would best want to stay at the Hyatt Regency across from the Colorado Convention Center. You have to ask that salesperson, how do they prepare for their sales call or their presentation? Do they do it in person? Do they do it online? Do they have a PowerPoint prepared and a Skype? Or do they do it in their office and bring their computer or their iPad and go through pictures of their property? What does a salesperson do to improve their sales production and their revenue? In the world of selling, we have to meet a certain number of sales calls, and a certain number of people need to close on the sale. And how do they improve their average daily rate, let's say, with a customer, or fill in those holes of like if you're a ski resort? Obviously, it's not hard to sell your ski resort when it's ski season, but how do you sell your resort when it isn't ski season, when it's October or summer? The next thing is you may want to say, what does the salesperson do, or excuse me, how do they determine their high sales priority goals? Me as a salesperson, I used to base my high sales production goals based on how far a company was to my hotel, and the number of employees a company may have, because that would tell me how many room nights that they might possibly have. So I'm looking at target markets. Some hotel companies look at vertical markets. Now here's a tough one. What tactics do they use to save time? We have technology now that you can do a lot of research on your customer. But maybe you're grouping your sales calls in one geographic area when you are traveling out of town, or when you're driving to go see your client. Maybe you do everything in the Lakewood area, or maybe you would do everything in the downtown area on one day. There are ways to save time, and I'd be very curious to know what do these salespeople do to save on time. So the last question is, what is the person who's doing the interview, what was your impression of the interview? What did their office environment look like? Their collateral material? What was the general professionalism of the person you interviewed? The demeanor? Were they relationship oriented? Did they listen to your questions? Did they answer them in totality, or did they go off on a rant? This is where you really get to be a little bit more critical of all of the perceptions that a salesperson puts forth in order to close a sale. And those perceptions come in many forms, even how the person dresses. Where did they meet you? In the lobby area, or did they take you to the office? Did you meet over lunch? Were they comfortable and casual to talk to? Did you feel that they were warm and genuine? There is all sorts of things that you're going to be looking at. Think about the last time you purchased a major item. Some of us have purchased cars, and there was something about the salesperson that you didn't feel comfortable with. It's important that you actually kind of start to pay attention to what are those perceptions that you had, or those, not only perception but impression, because we sell an experience. We don't sell a product in hospitality, and so all of those impressions do count. Even for me as a former salesperson, if I ever had a client in my car, I wanted to make sure my car was clean. I didn't want them to think that I was helter-skelter throwing papers here or there, because everything is an impression to that potential client. Okay, I think that should help you figure out how to write your interview paper. The important thing is that you zero in on somebody that you want to talk to. Don't forget, you can talk to somebody at the Spring Hill Suites. There are salespeople there. You can certainly talk to anyone with the Stonebridge Company. You can talk to someone at Visit Denver, someone with the Colorado Convention Center. They all have salespeople. So try to think outside the box a little bit and enjoy the assignment. It's a great way to network and make contacts with people. Once again, if you do have questions, feel free to email me, and maybe I can be of some assistance to you. And remember, think hospitality, people, okay, for that interview. Take care. Looking forward to hearing from you and reading your papers. After all, I do love English when I'm over here in Italy and in teaching in Prague. Take care. Bye now.